special edition of Diary of a Double. This is the year-long journey of Antonio Argüelles to swim from England to France, and then from France to England, 67 kilometers in cold, wavy water. Welcome, Antonio.
Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. We're transmitting today directly from Tijuana, Baja California, just at the border with San Diego. I just crossed the border. I crossed it walking, Stephen. They have a bridge where you just go on one side and just cross the border. It's amazing. I mean, it's something that when we're doing the North American Free Trade Agreement about 30 years ago, we were thinking about that would be a great thing, that you don't have to go with all the cars and all the lines. And now it's happening. So I'm very happy that I was able to make it to this show.
And the bridge is right over the wall?
Yeah, right over the wall. So I definitely went over the wall. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you had Hell Week last week. Incredible.
Yes, it was a very long week. I have a small video. I don't know if you like to, so we share it with our audience and then we can talk. So go for it, Quinn. So it was a you know, when Rafa told me that we were going to do a Hell Week at the end of March, well, I said, yeah, Rafa should have said at the end of February. That would be tough. March is going to be easy. So I arrived in La Jolla. I've been watching the water temperature. It was up to 15.8. So I said, well, it won't be that bad. But luckily, I guess the training coaches, the training gods, heard Rafa better than they hurt me, and it was hell. At one point, the water temperature was 13 degrees, 13.2, which I think is what, 54, 55, and it got never over 14.5. That was the warmest it was. So it was 5 days of cold water. We did 2 workouts, one in the morning and 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon. And one of the things that the week provided, Stephen, is that I had every condition that I would probably face, with the exception of one day. I would face conditions that I probably would face during the double crossing. There was one day that it was flat. When I saw Scott Richards, that day in the morning, in the afternoon was beautiful. You know, I was really going fast and enjoying a flat surface. But on Tuesday, we got the waves. Rafa told me that these waves are like the ocean waves that are really high and go really down and then go really high. And if you think about the pier, Suzanne, you know, once you get to the pier, something happens there that the waves are bigger, and the current brings you into the pier and the coast. That's where people do the surfing. And when I got there, I was really scared, because the waves were so big and they were pulling me. And that day I was alone. Rafa hadn't arrived, and Dan Simonelli couldn't row that day. So it took me about half an hour to get out of that mess and position myself in front of the hotel, and then about 12 minutes to be able to go out. Yeah, that was a tough day. Then I had some other days with wind and small waves, which are a pain. I mean, every time you were breathing, you're getting the waves on your face. And there was other days where the waves were bigger, and Rafa was very concerned that I could injure my shoulder, so we're doing more rotation. So it provided every kind of weather that I will face in a double swim.
Wow. How clear was the water underneath?
It got clear until yesterday in the afternoon. The rest of the days it was very murky. Okay. I don't know why it was so murky, but you couldn't. Yesterday you could see the bottom and you could see the fishes and the kelp forest, but yesterday, but the other days was just really murky.
Okay, so the previous time you were out there, you saw sea lions or seals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This time, did you see anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. We had one sea lion follow me for about how much, Rafa? For about half an hour, no? Yeah, he was playing with me. He was really playing because he got so close that I was trying to catch him to see if I could pet him. So I guess he thought that we were playing, and he was just with me all the time. And then another day, one seal followed me all the way to the shore, and until I was out in the shore, did he go back? So that was pretty cool. Next week when we have a larger video, we'll probably have that some of those scenes, because he was following me all the time.
Oh wow! And then
no dolphins.
Yeah. How many kilometers did you do the entire week?
¿Cuántos kilómetros hicimos, Rafa? Rafa just did the count. Tienes que ponerte, te hace mute.
38 kilómetros.
38,000 kilometers.
En 14 horas,
38 kilometers, sorry, 38 kilometers. ¿En cuántas horas?
14 con 40 minutos.
14 hours and 40 minutes.
Y no
14 hours and 40.
Las entradas y salidas.
And this is not counting all coming in and out.
O sea,
and the stops for feeding.
Sí, pero
one thing.
No exactly.
𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐿. This is not counting the stops for feeding. Rafa was making some calculations before the program, and in Catalina I swam at about 2,850 meters per hour. This week, without counting, all the entering, coming in and coming out, and the feeding, we did how many meters, Rafa? How many meters per hour, Rafa?
2000, ya te digo.
2,620. So if we add everything, my average speed for the week should be around 2,920 meters per hour, which is faster than I did in 2019 in Catalina. So I'm moving faster in the water.
Yeah, you look very good in the water. Very, very good. Very powerful, very streamlined. Rafa's done a very good job with you.
Yes, I coming from you, that's the best. I got two good compliments this week. I went and bought a t-shirt, in a place that I always buy t-shirts. And the guy told me, "What happened to you, Antonio?" Says, "Well, I've just been training." And so he gives me the preview size, and I had to go 2 sizes down. So I'm very happy with that. And then your comment, Steven, that I'm streamlined. That's very good. Yeah. That's a cherry in my hell week.
Yeah. So overall, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being perfect and 1 being bad, where do you think you were at the end of this week?
I think 9.
Okay.
And the reason I think it's 9 is because I have an ear. Something is bothering my ear.
Okay.
And it has been bothering me since Thursday.
Okay.
And I didn't want to tell Rafa anything, because I didn't want to think that I was checking out. So it's that Is that true to Sen? We don't tell about our coaches that when we're feeling bad, they might try to get us out of the water, and that could never happen.
Yeah.
And
There's such a thing that we say here, at least in Southern California, and probably other places, surfer's ear, where surfers, who spend time in the cold ocean for months or years, eventually get a little bit of blockage, and it somewhat hurts, but hopefully it's just a ear infection. And that's one of the reasons why I asked you if the water was clear or not. If the water is clear, most likely it was not dirty at all. But if it was murky, there would only be two reasons. One, because there was so much waves that they would kick up the sand from the bottom, or just not very clean water. But we haven't had a rain here in Southern California for a while, so the water should have been clean.
It rained a couple of days in San Diego.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah. And
while you were there?
Yeah, while I was there.
Okay.
And I don't think it's an infection because it's not hurting like when it's really, really hurting. I mean, it hurts. I was concerned on Thursday when I went to the water. I said, gee, I don't know if I'm going to be holding well with the cold water. And in the water, it doesn't hurt. It hurts when I go like this.
Yeah, when you press it.
When I press it. And this morning, early in the morning, something popped in there. It just went pop. But I cannot hear well. I don't think it's anything, that I have to worry about. But I'm going to the doctor on Monday, first thing in the morning. Rafa, what would be the grade that you would give the week from 1 to 10, 10 being the max?
¿Cómo? Perdón.
¿Cuál es la calificación? De 1 a 10. Yo me puse, Rafa gave me a 10. You're very generous. Está siendo muy generoso, Rafa. He usually is not that generous with me.
Fue un mar muy difícil toda la semana, muy difícil.
Yeah, the ocean he was saying that the ocean was really complicated the whole week. And another thing that is really interesting, Stephen, is that I kept my mind in place. See, on Tuesday it was a big test because I'm sure many of us have found ourselves, or people who are in the ocean find themselves in a place where it's scary. I mean, it's it's not going to be easy, and if you lose your patience, if you lose your focus, you're gonna get really nervous. And I was able to focus that. I knew two things. I knew I had enough power to get out. I mean, it was just a problem of doing the right things and being able to get out. But the other thing that I really enjoyed and liked, just think that I missed the tide, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
Either going in or coming out. If I miss the tide, it's going to take me a long time and a lot of patience to be able to overcome that. And this is what happened on Tuesday. It took a lot of patience for me to be able to get out of the spot where I was. And I did it with patience, and I did it with rhythm and thinking the right stuff and being able to move out of that situation. And then the other thing is, I have to say that I cheated, Stephen, because I use 𝐞𝐥𝐿 3 times a day.
Oh,
so, but I won't have 𝐞𝐥𝐿 in the channel, Stephen.
Yeah.
But I use 𝐞𝐥𝐿 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And the days when I was sore, one day I didn't do it just to see how my mental training would go with being tired and sore. I was able to get out of that mood also. So those two things helped a lot.
Yeah. When I saw the video of you swimming off the coast of La Jolla, and for people who don't know, who might be, watching this, that's in San Diego. I imagined how lucky we all are. We're very lucky to see the ocean. And I go to Costco or I drive down the freeway in California, and I think all these people don't see what you see. You go out into the ocean, sometimes it's murky, sometimes it's clear. You see kelp beds. I think of fewer than 1% of 1% of 1% of all humans on the planet have ever seen a kelp bed. They've never swum with a seal. And you see huge waves. And I think that experience, when you see the world from a different perspective, is something that sometimes we don't mention. But I know when I'm out there and I'm swimming and I see people on shore, yes, they're enjoying the shore, but they never see the things that we see from the perspective of the ocean. And you know, when you're out there and you come back, I almost always see a person who comes back from an ocean workout with a smile on their face. And so my direct question to you is, when you finished your Hell Week this week, were you having a smile on your face?
Yes, I was having a smile when I finished every workout.
Good.
You know,
good.
You put it, you know, in the right words, Stephen. When you are out there, somebody asked me, don't you get cold? Don't you get bored? And I said, I don't think about getting cold. I mean, I decided to go in, so I better enjoy in the cold water, and I'm the one who decided that I wanted to swim. So so for me, it's a privilege that I am able to do this at my age. I'm gonna be 62 in 2 weeks, and that I can have the time to go and do it. One thing that I have to mention is that a friend of mine told me, well, you're going on vacation for a week to California. And it's not a vacation. I mean, the day go between warming up before swimming, warming afterwards, eating, taking naps, putting katsu, swimming again, you know, the day flies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very lucky, especially people like most of you guys who live in front of the ocean. I have to move myself and live in front of an ocean. Definitely not Acapulco, that's for sure.
And then one thing that's been very consistent with you throughout this entire year, and we've all learned, is you enjoy a good meal. So in this Hell Week, can you give us some highlights of some of the good food that you had?
Yeah. We'll have some photographs next week.
Okay.
But Shannon, you might know. You know Le Pamplemousse? Le Pamplemousse is a restaurant down in Del Mar, who it's a French cuisine. So that was really tremendous. Then on Thursday, we went to a French place in Carlsbad. I would put the name of the restaurant because it's worth the trip to go there. It was like a menu. Yesterday we went one that's called the Fort Oak in downtown San Diego, and we had a great steak. But what is consistent every day is a sushi. For lunch, we go and have sushi. There's this little place in front of Eddie's on Prospect, Shannon, that has the most wonderful sushis. And you know, we're friends. You know, by now we're friends with everybody there because every time we come, we have lunch there, and they know what at least what I'm gonna eat. We play always the same thing. So those were the nice things that we ate well. We had some good wine, and we enjoyed it. Rafa was concerned that food was going to overtake the workouts, but that didn't happen. I behaved well, and we were able to do both things.
Okay, good. Was there anything that you could possibly think of that you could improve upon, or the conditions or something?
I would have liked that Rafa had been with me on Tuesday, because he could have, either Rafa or Dan, because maybe I could have stayed longer in the water. I cut myself out after an hour and 40 minutes. So that's something that if they had been with me, probably I would have told them to go for 3 hours, because it was really fighting. Well, you can't fight the ocean. It was really giving me a good workout, something to think about. It was a challenge that I would have loved to be able to, be in that water for a longer period of time, because it's a great adventure. That's like something that it's going to be very rare that I think that I encounter that I find myself in an ocean like that in the water. So that is something that I would have liked. And the other thing, it's I wish we had one or out of the 10 workouts, maybe two. I wish we had two more with more flat water, because I would have been able to do more changes of speed. Because when the water is so crazy with the waves, it's very complicated to do changes of speed. I mean, you have to concentrate just to get a rhythm and go and fight the waves. So those were the two things that I would have done differently. One thing that was really nice, Steven, is that I was able to do qigong every day.
Oh, okay.
I got up really early and I did qigong with a friend of mine, and that was really good. That really was a great way to start the day. It really calmed me, and I was able to have a good swim.
Yeah. I know when I'm out there and the ocean swells are huge, and I'd love to go up and down and up and down. Do you prefer that, or do you want that flat, tranquil, calm water?
No, I love going up and down.
Yeah.
But I those up and downs on Tuesday were really ups and really downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe me, it was like, it was a great ride, but I wish I had company.
In one of the photos that you shared early, it had like a group. It looked like 5 or 6 kayakers out there. Did you they were just kayakers, recreational kayakers that you passed?
Yeah, there were recreational kayakers, and Rafa was very concerned because recreational kayakers in La Jolla are not the best trained kayakers, and they can run you over. I mean, that's something that is possible. So Rafa was in the kayak and was steering me away from them. You know what was really two things that I haven't told you. One day, I guess it was probably Monday morning, I was swimming back at the end of my workout from the cove to the shores, and suddenly the whole sky was full of ducks and seagulls. It was like really big, so I had to stop to watch it because I was concerned that they thought I was a fish, and that they would all come down to me and try to eat me. It was amazing. And then in one of the pictures, I don't know if you saw it, I'm swimming and I have some ducks swimming along with me. You see that?
Yes.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I was in northern Japan, not near Tapi Misaki in the Tsugaru Channel, but close to there. And the seagulls had been flying by, and they were coming down and swooping by the ocean. And I went one time like this, and the bird slammed into me. And I was thinking, that bird, I mean, they can't even see a human in the water, but that was the only time I've been attacked in the ocean is by a seagull. So hope nobody attacked you from the air.
No, this time no. But I had to stop. It was like what's happening, and I had to stop and see what was going on. Yeah. And that was really enjoyable.
So you've done your Hell Week. You got a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, according to your coach. What are you going to do next week? Is it a recovery week?
Rafa, what are we going to do next week? Bye, Rafa.
It will be a recovery week the next week. Y empezaremos con el próximo hacia mayo, que es la prueba final, ¿no? Hacia el canal inglés.
So we're going to have 1 week recovery, and then our goal is in the week on May 14th and 15th, I'm going to swim for 24 hours.
Where is that?
So again, in La Jolla.
Okay.
So we're gonna recover for 1 week, and then we're gonna start training for that specific date.
Wow. What day? 14th or 15th week, or
14th,
what day?
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We're gonna start on Wednesday. It's gonna finish on Thursday.
Okay.
And that's gonna be. You're welcome to come. Anybody is welcome to come and cheer. I'll be great. Having some. What's really interesting is, hotels love rules, and the people at La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club love rules. I mean, they own the beach, okay? So the other day, we're going out at night and said, the beach is closed. I said, how can the beach be closed? I mean, you know, the beach is not closed. I'm going to go out and swim, but the beach is closed. Well, do you want me to go 200 meters over there where the beach is not closed? I'm not going to do that. So I'm going out. You want me not to go out? Just go and get me out and we'll be fine. I'm fine. Just get out and get me out of the water. So hopefully we won't be hassled by the beach watchers at La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club.
What time are you going to start?
¿Qué nos vamos a empezar el miércoles cuando las 24 horas?
Posiblemente la tarde, tarde, ¿no? Posiblemente a las 4 o 5 de la tarde para ya agarrar el segundo entrenamiento y el tercero en la noche.
We're going to start probably between 4 and 5 in the afternoon because we want to have the second and third workouts during the night. Okay. Probably one at 2 and the other one at 4. Okay. Do a long one first and then 2. You know, you gotta be. I have to be prepared for those hours because I'm gonna swim 24 plus hours. I mean, 24 will be beautiful, but it probably can be more. So I need to swim at night.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Karen Weir from the UK asked, what will be the temperature in 2 weeks? I got a feeling it's not going to be much warmer than what it was this week.
No, but in May, we're doing this in May, May 14th and 15th. It should be a little bit warmer, but probably about 16. And believe me, well, you guys know, between 13.2 and 16, it's a world difference. Yeah. I mean, it's a warm water.
You guys come to the beach with me right now? Yeah, because I have nothing to do today.
Oh, Beth, if you could mute yourself, we'll open up for questions a little bit later.
So
go ahead, Antonio.
No, you know, in that workout, there's 2 things that are, to me, are very important. One, that I complete the 24 hours happy. That I don't stress myself, and because I have to be able to enjoy the 24 hours, and 2, that I have enough strength, the same strength that I have when I begin, I have to have it in the last workout. I have to be able to go in and not be, you know, paddling away in the last workout. I have to have the same energy from the beginning till the end.
Great. Well, I've asked enough questions. Brian, Susan, Sabrina, Shannon, Quinn, anybody else have some questions? Just unmute yourself and go ahead and fire away.
Antonio, sounds like the temperature really wasn't an issue for your swims. You warmed up really quickly from what Rafa said.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue because you know what happens, Suzanne, and this is probably that most of you guys have done. Once you decide that the temperature is not an issue, it's not an issue anymore. If you think that the temperature is going to be an issue, every time you go into the water, it's going to be an issue, and so you have to deal with that. So temperature is not an issue anymore. That's something that, you know, you have to deal with it, and you better understand that that's going to be there. So that wasn't an issue. And I was very happy to be able to have been able to switch my mind where temperature is not an issue anymore.
So from here on, pretty much everything will be, the water will be tropical.
Well, let's not push it. Let's not push it. You know, if I go to San Francisco and go swimming with you and Quinn, that's not going to be tropical. Believe me. At 11 degrees, it's not tropical.
It'll be warmer than 11.
Yeah, hopefully.
Anyone else?
That's awesome. You looked really good in the water, Antonio.
Didn't he? He looked
Thank you.
Really I like the underwater shots too. You can really see a nice pull and really stretching out on your stroke and getting a nice distance per stroke there. Look good. Thank you.
Yes, Brian.
I like your comments about ear problems. Maybe being older, you've sort of experienced things before. I don't know whether you wear earplugs, but but I
No.
found that with the commercial ones, the ones that had little fins on them, they tend to become hard over time. And for longer swims, I would start to get problems from my ear with that. And I then tried wax and ended up with some stuck in my ear after a channel swim that required going to a surgery to get removed. So I've always used form-fitting ones ever since then and haven't had any problems. But in terms of infections in the ear, and I've had them from swimming pools, there was one local one that used to have very warm water, and they called it the virus pool, jokingly, because the water was so warm and there were so many ear problems that came from there. What I found was that when you have the first ear infection, you tend to take far too long before you go to a physician to get some drops. And then you can't carry those drops with you forever, because you find that as soon as you have an ear problem, 1 or 2 drops, and then overnight the problem is gone. But letting infections go for too long can certainly be a problem. So I was interested in the comments on ears and ear problems.
Yeah.
Well, I took it very seriously. On Monday, I'm going, and I will tell you guys next Saturday what happened. I've never, one time I had ear problem. You know what I did, Brad? I put Vaseline in my ear, and that yeah, it was a mess. I had to go to a doctor to be cleaned, but that helped me when that was happening. But I had to put something. So I might have to start. What Stephen was saying. My doctor said that I have something in my ear that is caused by cold water, and every time I go, and he has an intern, he shows them, because it's not very usual that they can see something like this in Mexico. And that's probably what's happening right now. But I have to look at it, because so far I haven't missed a workout, and I don't want to be sick.
Yeah. You be careful out there.
I think that may relate to what Stephen was saying about surfer's ear, where you develop a little bit of a boss in the ear canal, and it blocks off part of the ear canal. So anything that gets stuck in that particular ear just takes ages to come out or dry out afterwards. That's not an unusual condition, I think, with many swimmers, even the pool swimmers.
Yeah. I hope that would be the case.
Yeah. Brian, back in my day, we did a lot of home remedies for ear drops, and then later on there was a commercial product called Swim-Ear. And then last summer, during the COVID pandemic shutdown, I was seeing a lot more people get into the ocean, and I saw a lot of people with ear dryers, and I'd never seen those before. It was literally it's like a hair dryer, except you just push it in, put it in your ear. And I thought, wow, that's innovation come alive. I'll put it in the chat room right now.
I did see one of those at our local swimming pool a year or so back, somebody using one.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions, comments?
I have a question about dry land for Antonio and Rafa. What was your dry land schedule over Hell Week, and generally as you ramp up to over the next 6 weeks leading up to a 24-hour swim, how will the dry land cycle evolve?
During the week, we did our usual warm-up. We include several exercises with my body and the band. And when we go back, cuando regresemos, ¿qué vamos a hacer en estas 6 semanas, Rafa? De fuerza.
Vamos a continuar con fuerza máxima y traducirla a potencia.
We're gonna keep on going with maximum force and try to get that over for potency.
Sí, for power.
For power. Well, I'm enjoying it very much, but I got to clear security, and I have to catch a plane.
Okay.
And if I don't make it tonight, I will have 3 problems: a problem with Lucia, a problem with my granddaughter, and a problem with my body, because I haven't been I'll be tired. The next flight is at 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So I have
Two
to
out of
go.
those three are women, so go.
Okay.
Not forgive you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.